Hello guys, my name is Kiki and welcome to my channel. I've been a crafter for almost 30 years, yeah, that long. But if you want to learn how to decorate your home on a budget while having fun at it, hit the like, subscribe and stay tuned. Today I will be sharing with you my favorite DIYs of 2022 so you can give them a try on this 2023.
DIY number 1, winter DIY.
We're gonna make a beautiful round sign, and for that I'm using this wood round. You can find those at Dollar Tree, and if not, you can go into my description box down below and you will find the link to my Amazon front store and you will get them there. Now I'm using my welcome sign or letters that I got from BB Craft, and I'm just measuring my tape. Now I'm gonna paint the bottom part with this celery color from Waverly. Also, you will find that in my description box below on my Amazon front store. Now what I'm doing is I'm just painting the bottom of that just like this all over until I have finished, and then I'm gonna remove that tape after I painted the top part with this beautiful royal gold. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around like that. Then when I get to the bottom part, I will remove the tape so I can paint it. Let me just paint all over it like that. Then, as you can see, I'm just grabbing the excess paint because I want this to look more like a stain than at paint. Then I'm just gonna blend them like this. As you can see, I'm blending the gold and the celery color in the bottom just like that. So I have a line, but not a line, like something subtle. And after that, I'm gonna let it dry really well so I can add my letters. But first, I'm gonna take those letters, the welcome sign, and I'm just gonna glue it together because it was broken, and my winter letters that I got from Walmart, and I'm using my plaster paint to paint them. What I'm doing is I'm just gluing it together like that, and then I'm gonna start painting them with that beautiful plaster color. I'm gonna paint all of them and the welcome sign as well. You can use any colors you want for this, but this is just an idea for the colors that I want for this winter. After I painted all of this, I'm gonna let them dry. Then I'm gonna bring back my sign and I'm gonna start gluing them. And for that, I'm just using hot glue. And I'm gonna hot glue them just like this. Then I'm gonna add the letters on the bottom and I'm just measuring them like that, just to make sure that I have them where I want them before I just glue them. I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun and I'm gonna glue all of them like this. And after that, we're gonna start decorating our beautiful welcome sign. Now we have our letters and they are looking so cute, but now I want to add this beautiful bow, and you will find a link for that bow tutorial on my description box down below. Now I'm going to add those beautiful picks that I got from Walmart a couple of years ago, but I just saved them so you can use any greenery you have. Now I'm just cutting and just going to glue them over there with my bow on top. Let me just glue them like this with a little bit of hot glue. Make sure that they are adhered to my sign. And then I'm gonna glue the other side. And as you saw, I took one of the pieces out of the branch so I can place it where I want it. Then after I finish with that, I have to hot glue this one back because I didn't wait for it to set. And now I'm gonna remove that one and I'm gonna place it where I want it. And then I'm gonna add my beautiful bow to the top with a little bit of hot glue. Let me cut the excess twine and I'm gonna glue it over here. Let that glue set really well. Fluff our bow, dovetailed it like this, and that's it. Now let me show you. Here you can see it and it is looking so beautiful. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this one because yeah, I'm biased and I love it.
DIY number 2, Valentines.
We're gonna take this foam ball and a skewer, and we're gonna add our foam ball to the skewer, and we're gonna make Fulero Rocher. And I just love this. I have never seen anyone do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint that foam ball with some chocolate kind of color. We're gonna go all around it just like this until we have covered everything. Then I'm gonna grate some of this cork. Yeah, we're gonna use cork. We're gonna grate it, and then we're gonna come back with our foam ball and we're gonna just place it over our skewer again because I had to remove it. And we're gonna take Mod Podge, and with this Mod Podge what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover all of our foam ball like this, just going around. Then after we have it covered completely, we're gonna dip our foam ball into that crushed or grated cork, and we're gonna go all around adding more and just covering that, not completely but enough. Like a chocolate. So after that, I'm gonna take more Mod Podge and I'm gonna add that Mod Podge to this, and then I'm gonna take brown paint and we're gonna mix it until we have a chocolate kind of color. Not this light, a little bit darker. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm adding a little bit of burnt umber just to make it darker. And after we have it, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna dip our chocolates on our chocolate dip like this. Then we're gonna let them drip dry a little bit, and then we just let them dry completely, and you will see how cute they are. And look at this, they look like Ferrero Rocher. Just let me know in the comments below if you think they are good enough to eat. I'm just craving them.
DIY number 3, spring.
We're gonna make a beautiful tray, and for that I'm using these ovals that I got at Walmart, and I'm measuring the center just to make a hole using my drill, and I will make it in the middle. And now I'm using one of them to make the hole with this spade bit, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go there, make the holes for all of them, and here you can see it. And here we have the other one and the other one, and all of them have them holes. Now I'm taking plaster from Waverly and I'm gonna paint them completely, front and back, sides and everything, so I can have a base color for what we're gonna do next. In the description box down below, you're gonna find the link to my Amazon front store so you can go and check out all of Plaid products, because I'm a Plaid ambassador and I just love their paints and I love all of their products. So go and check that out, and you will see that I'm just painting them completely. Then I'm gonna let them dry, and I'm using this water slide decal from Hippo, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover them using these ones. Now to use them, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure my ovals like this, and then I'm gonna cut those ovals like that using my scissors. And after that, for this to work, we have to submerge it in water, and we're gonna let that for 10 seconds just to make sure that the water slide decal is water sliding. These are awesome. Go and check that out because I just love them. Now I'm just cutting some pieces just to make sure that we can cover the other part, bottom part of that oval. Now as you can see, I submerged this in water, then I added some water to my board. And then I'm just gonna take this decal and I'm just gonna transfer it to my board like that. And then I'm gonna make sure that it is perfectly set in there. Then I'm gonna take my scissors and cut all of the excess, and as you can see, I'm not going in the middle because we need to let this dry before we cut that. Now I'm gonna take another one, and as you can see, I have this beautiful honey bee themed decals that I'm gonna add to this one. I'm not gonna go with a full piece, I just want to add some pieces like this. And what I'm gonna do is the same thing. I submerge it in water, and then I'm gonna add it to the board like you can see here. Then I'm gonna cut all the excess, and I'm gonna keep on repeating those steps all around it. Remember, to make this work, or the water slide decal, you need to give it 3 coats of acrylic glossy spray paint. That way you make sure that it just slides. Now I'm gonna take these accent pieces, and as you can see, they are darker than the other ones. And what I'm gonna do with these ones is I'm just gonna make accent pieces for my boards. And as you can see, I'm just adding more water, and I'm adding those to the top of the other ones. What I wanted to show you here is that you can layer those water slide decals. And as you can see, I'm gonna continue adding to all of my boards those decals, and they look so beautiful. They pop and they look beautiful. And as you can see, it's pretty pretty easy to layer these decals. They look beautiful and it works. So now I'm gonna continue adding some more just to make sure that this look cute. And now I'm gonna take this planter and my hot knife, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it like this just to make sure that I have that top lip of the planter to use it for my tray. Now just let me cut it all around so we can get to assembling this. Now to assemble this, I'm gonna take the bottom part or the top part of our planter and I'm gonna glue one of the top thingies or boards to that, just using a little bit of hot glue. Like you can see here, I'm going all around, then I'm gonna glue it like this. Then I'm gonna add more hot glue. You can use any glue you want, but I'm just using hot glue for the sake of the video. So I'm gonna go all around it, adding more hot glue to make sure that it is really nicely glued. Then I'm gonna take plaster from Waverly and I'm gonna paint this planter or stand for our tray. I'm gonna go all around it, covering it completely. Then I'm gonna take this brush metals in the beautiful shade of gold and I'm gonna go all around those rims of those boards. Then I'm gonna paint also the stick for the middle and that beautiful finial. Now I'm adding the stick in the middle and that will be the support of our tray. As you can see, I'm using this old thingies from hoses. Yeah, those are for a hose. Just to make sure that I can secure my dowel. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these ones to the middle like this and to the top like that, so I can add my boards. You will see that I glued both of them, but I should have glued just one. But I'm gonna remove it before the glue sets, so don't worry. And I'm gonna glue them like this. Then I'm gonna remove that one and I'm gonna add one of my boards there. And then I'm gonna glue that old thingy to the dowel again. But before I do that, I'm gonna go all around that hole, adding hot glue to make sure that it is secure. Now, as you can see, I'm adding the O-ring or the old thingy to the top and the board that goes on the top, and I'm gonna go all around that hole with more hot glue, like that. Then I'm gonna add the finial, and as you can see, I have a little hole on there, so I can stick it, and that will be it for this beautiful tray. And here you can see it, and this one, it's so beautiful. The camera isn't making it any justice, but trust me, I love it, and it is so beautiful. And look at that. As you can see, we can make an easy and beautiful tray to display some thingies that you will see a little bit later.
DIY number 4, Easter.
I use this egg that I got here at a store, but you can get them at Dollar Tree. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue the two parts together using my hot glue like this. Then when we have them together, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna seal that lip that it has with a little bit of spackling, just like this. You can get your spackling at Dollar Tree as well. Now I'm gonna go all around it so we can paint it, and for that we're gonna use Waverly white chalk paint, and we're gonna paint it completely, front, back, sides, and everything. We're gonna give it 2 coats, good coats, and if you see that it needs a little bit more, then give it another one. Now that it is painted, I'm gonna take this that I cut with my Cricut, and you will find in the description box down below the link to it. It's an Etsy shop, and I just love those images. I'm not sponsored, but you can go and check them out. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taping this to my egg because I tried to use stencil decal and I got all of that paint off. I forgot to add a little bit of Mod Podge. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace it like this, and I'm gonna trace the design, the parts that I want. I'm not gonna do everything because I'm gonna be hand painting this, and that's hard. So I'm just tracing the pieces that I want that will make it look like the inspiration piece. After that, I'm gonna remove all of this tape, and then I'm gonna repeat that 3 more times. So what I'm doing is I'm just removing that. Let me just finish my image. And now you can see it. Now I will repeat that, and then I'm gonna take my Ocean by Waverly, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start painting those lines designs. I'm gonna paint those, and I'm gonna paint all over, as you can see, covering everything that I traced. Remember that I'm a plaid ambassador, and in the description box down below you're gonna find the link to my Amazon front store so you can go and check out all plaid products. So you can find this beautiful ocean blue and lots of other things like the Mod Podge I forgot to add. Now what I'm doing is I'm just painting it completely like this until I have made my beautiful design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time, as you can see, just painting it and making it look beautiful. Here you can see that I'm just finishing this up, and I missed a spot in the bottom that I did not paint when everything peeled off. What I'm going to do after I finish with this is I'm going to just paint that spot and continue painting my egg. Now let me finish with this so you can see how beautiful it looks. There is a spot that I have to repaint. Now after I finish, I paint that, and you can see that I'm covering it like that. We're gonna let it dry, continue with our designs, and here you can see it is all painted and beautiful. Now what I want to do is the center on the top. I want to make some lines there like our inspiration piece, and I'm using my tape like this to make that circle. I'm just gonna erase everything that I do not need, and then I'm gonna come back with my ocean and my paintbrush, and I'm gonna go around it like that. After I finish with this line, I'm gonna paint another one on top of that one just to make it look more like our inspiration piece. And as you can see, I'm taking all the time in the world to paint this, and I'm anchoring my wrist to the table and also to the egg to make my hand a little bit more stable, and I can go all around it without missing a spot. Now I'm gonna repeat this process on the top like that, but this one, it was a freehand, and I'm just painting it like that all around. And after we finish with that, we're gonna give it a good clear coat just so we don't have any more peeling of the paint, and that will be it for this beautiful egg. Now here you can see it, and this one is beautiful. I just love it. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this one, because yeah, I'm biased.
DIY number 5, Easter.
And for this one, we're gonna take all of our ornaments from Christmas, and I saved this ones because I want to do something special. And as you can see, I have a little bit of everything. You can go out and grab some ornaments and grab some spray paint. You don't have to mix or match your spray paint to the color that it will end up being, because this is just a primer. And as you can see here, we have them. Now I'm gonna take plaster from Waverly, and I'm gonna paint these 2 bigger ones with this plaster from Waverly. For that, I'm just gonna go all around it with a sponge brush just like this, making sure that I covered everything with that sponge brush. And after I finish, I'm going to take my Hippo water slide decal paper, and I'm going to print this beautiful set that you will find in the description box down below. It's from designbundles.net, and it is a free one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it 3 times like the instructions of the Hippo water slide paper says. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them to make sure that I have these beautiful designs to add to my ornaments. I just cut them all around. After I have all of them cut, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add them to water like this. Just flatten them down, leave them for 10 seconds, and after that they will be ready to add to our beautiful ornaments. I added a little bit of water to my ornament, and now as you can see, I'm going around with my decal, cutting a little bit here and there just to make sure that this gets all flat, and flattening it down with my hands just like that. As you can see, I'm a little bit off center, but you can see what I'm doing here, adding a little bit more water, and that will be it. Now I'm gonna take this beautiful lavender color, and I'm gonna take this ones and I'm gonna paint them in this beautiful lavender color. And you will see that all of them have a different color to them. You will see why a little bit later. I'm gonna continue doing that, repeat that to the other one, and let them dry. Now I'm gonna take this ones and I'm gonna take pink eraser from apple barrel, and I'm just gonna paint them completely just like this, going all around. And also after I finish with those, I'm gonna let them dry really well. And for this ones, I'm gonna take this beautiful aqua color that I have from Folkart, and I'm gonna paint them completely like we did with the other ones, just going all around and painting them completely and letting them dry. Now that they are dry, I'm gonna take my plaster in my lavender color, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the plaster just to paint the thicker lines that those ornaments had. That was a little bit of glitter, and it is raised, and it will look beautiful. So I'm gonna do that with this plaster color, and after I finish with this plaster, I'm gonna take those other raised lines that you can see, and I'm gonna paint them in the beautiful lavender color like you can see that I'm doing here. You don't have to do this, but I just wanted to use that beautiful pattern on my ornament to make it pop a little bit more and look more Eastery. So I'm gonna continue doing this until I have finished, and now as you can see, I painted the other ones the same way. And now what I'm doing is I'm just using my wood burning tool, and I'm just burning those ends, and I'm making holes with it. You can use a drill or you can use this tool, but be careful if you're using this one. Use it on a ventilated area because you can see there's a lot of smoke and fumes. And I'm gonna continue doing this to all of my ornaments until I have finished with all of them. And now I'm gonna take this dowel and I'm gonna cut it to size using my miter shears. You will find the link in the description box to my Amazon front store, so you can go and check these ones out because I just love them. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start adding my ornaments to my dowel just like this, sliding them down like this to make my beautiful topiary. Now I noticed that I cut my dowel a little bit bigger than I needed. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it like this, and then I'm gonna add my finial or my top ornament. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of hot glue here and there just to make sure that this is secured and that we have a really good grip on this so they won't fall apart. I added a little bit of hot glue here, and now you can see it, and it is looking beautiful. For that one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pot, but it failed first, and that's it. And here you can see them together, and they are looking so beautiful. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these ones because I love them. And yes, I'm biased.
If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I would really love for you to subscribe and become part of our YouTube family. But if you're a returning subscriber, you know how much I love you. In the description box down below, you're gonna find the links to all of my social media, so you can go and check me out over there.
DIY number 6, bees. And we're gonna take this jar that I have from some vitamins, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove that plastic completely so I have the jar. Then I'm gonna take black felt and I'm gonna cover my jar with that black felt. And for that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue over here, roll it, and then add more hot glue over here on top of it, and then just place it until it is glued. As you can see, I'm having some issues with that because, well, my hot glue and my felt, it's limited because of the power issues that we had. Now I'm gonna use this beard set that I got from Amazon. You will find a link to my Amazon front store in the description box down below, so you can go and check them out. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue them like this to the jar. Then I'm gonna grab the bead that came with it and I'm gonna glue that bead over here in the hole that it has. And now we have the basics of a gnome. Now I'm gonna take this fabric that I got from Walmart and I'm gonna cut a piece of that in a triangular shape like this. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the hat for my gnome, so that's why I'm measuring it. Now I'm gonna add some hot glue in one of the corners like this on one of the sides, and then I'm gonna fold it on itself like that. Then I'm gonna flip it over, being really careful because we use hot glue, and I'm just gonna make sure that we have a pointy point on the top of the triangle. Then when we finish with that, we are gonna just make sure that there is a pointy point and we're gonna cut all the excess. After after that, we're gonna measure again, make sure that it fits. And then we're gonna grab some polyfill that I have over here from an old pillow. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just fill this triangle to make the hat. We're gonna fill it, but not completely. We're gonna leave a little bit of the bottom part without that filling. Now I'm taking another piece of fabric to make the arms, and as you can see, it's a rectangle, and I'm just gonna add some hot glue like that. Glue it on itself, cut the excess, and flip it over after I closed one of the ends. After I flip that one over, as you can see, I'm just flipping it using one dowel like that. I flipped it over, and now we have the arms. I'm so sorry for the background noises. I have been having a little bit of power issues, and this is the best that I got. And now I'm just gonna fill them like this using more of that polyfill completely until I have them filled so they look like arms and not like a straw. And we're gonna fill them like that, being careful and adding a little bit at a time to make sure that they look straight and not wobbly. Now I'm gonna cut a rectangle of this felt, and I'm gonna make the hands out of them. As you can see, it is round, and I'm gluing it to the thingy that we made, the arm. And now I'm gonna repeat the same steps with the other arm. I'm gonna make sure that this one is filled, but not to the top. We want a little bit of that arm to be a little bit wobbly so we can just arrange it on our gnome. Now I'm gonna repeat that with the other one, but first I measured. Now I lost a little bit of the footage over here, but as you can see, I added my hat, and I also added some rope around it to make it look cuter. Now I'm gonna finish this up like that, and I added also the arms. And I'm just gonna cut the excess, add a little bit of hot glue, glue it together like that, and now we're gonna add to the arms the beautiful honey dipper. And for that, I'm gonna make a beautiful buffalo check ribbon bow like this, and I'm gonna add that to my honey dipper. But first, let me tie it with a little bit of twine like this, and then I'm gonna cut the excess when I make sure that it is fluff and it is looking beautiful. And I'm gonna cut the excess so I can glue that to my honey dipper. And for that, I'm gonna use a little bit of hot glue after I dovetail my tails, and I glued it. Now I'm gonna glue that to the arms of my gnome, and I tried for this to show up on camera as best as I could. But I'm just gluing it with hot glue. And after that, we have a beautiful gnome. But I want to add a little bit something extra, because you know me, I'm extra, so I added a bee on that honey dipper. Now I want to add a bead over here on a pointy part, and those are the beads that I got from Amazon. I'm gonna glue it there, and now we have it. Let me just add another bead over here, and with that we have a beautiful gnome. Look at that, he's so cute. But let me show you. Here you can see it, and I'm so happy with how this gnome turned out. He's super cute, but I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments below what you think about this one, because yeah, you know me, I'm biased and I love it. DIY number 7, lemons or summer.
For this one, we're gonna make a beautiful sign, and I'm using a old sign that I have from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna cover it with white chalk paint from Waverly, and I'm gonna remove the twine, and then I'm gonna start painting it. In my description box down below, you're gonna find also the link to my Amazon front store, so you can go and check out all of the plaid products that I have there. I'm a plaid ambassador, and you will love them if you haven't tried them. As you saw, I used my heat tool to dry this, and now that it is dry, I'm gonna start just drawing like this a lemon slice or lemon wedge. This one is a wedge. And I'm just gonna draw it with a pencil like that. I stole one from my son, don't tell him. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that we have a beautiful lemon slice. Here you can see it. After I finish with that, I'm gonna start painting it. And I'm gonna use this moon yellow again from Folk Art, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start painting my lemon wedge or lemon slice like this. I'm gonna paint it completely like that, all of those wedgy thingies. And after I finish with that, I'm gonna paint the top part as well. Let me just finish with this, and as you can see, it needs more than one coat because this paint is a little bit translucent, so you will need to give it a couple of coats to make it look beautiful. After I finish with all of these wedges, I'm just gonna move on to making our sign. And you will see that this one is different. Now I'm just painting the border like this, and I'm taking my time to paint this. You can see it's pretty fast, but believe me, I took my time. So take your time while painting your lemon wedge. Now that it is dried, I'm gonna take some masking tape that you can see here, or this is painter's tape. And I'm just gonna make sure that I'm making lines on my sign. Just like that, and this will be a wordless a sign without words. And now I'm gonna take my ocean chalk paint from Waverly, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint those lines with the chalk paint from Waverly. As you can see, I'm making sure that I'm not painting the yellow parts from my lemon slice, but making sure that I'm covering everything on those lines so it is covered and beautiful, and you will see how beautiful this looks. Now let me remove those. And this is the most satisfying part because you can see we have perfect lines. And after I do that, you can see it here. I'm gonna grab one of my markers from Walmart, and I'm just gonna make lines like this just to make this lemon look more cute. I don't know, it adds a little bit of whimsical thingy to it, a flair. And I'm just making those lines, drawing those lines. I'm gonna go all around them like that, and also on the border just like this. And after I finish with that, we have a beautiful sign without words. Something modern, something cute to decorate. Now let me finish with this, and I'm gonna show you. And here you can see it, and look at that. This one is so beautiful. I just love those lines that I gave to that lemon wedge. But let me know what you think in the comments.
DIY number 8, Halloween.
I just want to make the portraits. For that, I'm going to use those circles that I got from Walmart and this beautiful paper that I got from Krizia. I also have this printable, and I found it on Google. What I'm doing is I'm just cutting it with my X-OXO knife, and here you can see all of them. Now I'm going to take those ovals and I'm going to transfer it to my paper, just using the X-OXO knife, just like that. And after I do that, I have a perfect oval. But yet, I have to work on it a little bit with my X-OXO knife. Now that I have it, I'm gonna recreate that or cut another one. And I'm gonna use this beautiful paper, also from Krizia, and cut the bigger one. And that one is an oval plate from, no, that one is from Dollar Tree. Now I'm just cutting that paper, and then I'm gonna grab my Mod Podge. I'm gonna apply a little bit of Mod Podge like you see here. Then I'm gonna apply my paper like that, and I'm gonna use this tool from Mod Podge or Plaid, and I'm just gonna make sure that I have my paper flat. Then I'm gonna take this beautiful decal that I made, and you will find that in the description box down below, and I'm just gonna measure it with my printable. And I'm just using a scoring tool that comes from the Cricut. You can use anything just to score it, then cut it. Then we're gonna transfer that beautiful decal to the oval. Let me just make sure that I have it over here, and then we're gonna grab it and stick it to our oval like this. And then I'm gonna make sure that it is there so I can remove my transfer tape. I remove my transfer tape, and we have a beautiful frame. Look at that, it's looking so beautiful. After that, I'm gonna take my printable, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the same sponge that I use to apply the Mod Podge that has a little bit of Mod Podge over there. Apply some Mod Podge on the back, stick it to my oval that now is a frame. Make sure that it is stuck there, and look at that, they look so beautiful. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna edge them because that paper looks so white, and those edges need a little bit of roughing with a sandpaper. So I'm gonna take some sandpaper, and I'm just gonna go all around it to make sure that this looks a little bit more vintage. Then I'm gonna take some of this antique wax from Waverly, and I'm gonna go all around it like this. You will see that I go around it and make sure that some of that antique wax is on my paper as well. I'm just gonna go all around the frame like that, and then I'm gonna take the picture and I'm gonna start just rubbing some of that paint or antique wax over the paper to make sure that it ages a little bit more that white paper. I'm gonna do that with all of my frames, and after I do that, we will have these beauties. Let me show you. In here you can see them, and I only spent $4 for all of them, including paper and everything. And the candles went for $11 each, so I think I did really well on those. DIY number 9, Christmas. Gonna make a beautiful cigar box look better. You can find these ones at the thrift store, or if you have someone that has them, grab one. Now what I'm doing is I'm just using my heat tool to remove the label, and this is easy, but it takes a little bit of time because you want to remove all of that label completely. So you're going to scrape it until you get it off. Then I'm going to take Crimson by Waverly, and I'm going to paint this completely. And I left this back part off, but if you want, you can paint it. I'm going to paint it except for those little hinges and thingies that look beautiful in gold. Then I'm going to dry that paint using my heat tool. Then I'm going to make this decal that you will find in the description box down below, so you can make the same one. And I'm gonna make it on my Cricut. Then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna weed it out like really well. It is beautiful, and you will see it in a little bit later because it's white and it won't show in the camera. But let me just weed these, and this is my favorite part of making a decal. Now we're gonna use a transfer tape, and I'm gonna just grab this, make sure that it is stuck, take my time so I can remove the backing and I don't rip my decal. And I'm gonna take my time, then I'm gonna remove the backing. As you can see, I'm taking my time, making sure that everything is stuck to my transfer tape. This is a little bit hard. This is the part that I don't like. But I'm just gonna make sure that it is stuck there so I can move on to transferring this beautiful decal to our luggage. Yeah, we're making a beautiful set here. And now what I'm adding is the decal to the front of that cigar box. And I'm just gonna make sure that it is stuck there so I can remove my transfer tape, making sure to take my time and peel it like really slowly. You saw it a little bit faster because I was using the camera tricks. But now I'm just gonna use a little bit more of that vinyl, and this one is in gold. And as you can see, I'm just cutting one row of this, and then I'm gonna cut another one like that so we can make those sides to that beautiful thingy. It's the luggage. I think that's the name. Let me know in the comments below what you think the name for this is, because I think it's luggage. Now I'm just adding those to the corners, as you can see, to cover the corners and make it look even more beautiful. After I finish with that, I'm gonna flip this over, and I'm gonna take an X-Acto knife, and I'm gonna cut all the excess of that vinyl. Let me just cut all of it. Here you can see it. And now we're gonna start with the smaller strips, adding them to the luggage. Now what I'm doing is I'm just adding it, and as you can see, it's covering the decal that I added first, but don't worry, we're gonna make sure that it shows. Now I'm just removing the excess over here so we can open and close our box. Then I'm gonna flip it over, place it, and cut it over here so we can open it. Here you can see what I did to make this decal show. I just lift that strip, lift the decal over here like that, taking care of it, going slowly. You can add the decal after you added those strips, but I just wanted to measure and be sure that I had it. Now I have this canning, and you will find it in my Amazon front store, also in the description box down below, and I'm just measuring it like this. Now I can cut it, and I'm gonna cut a piece of that over here, and after I cut it, I'm gonna cover it with the same gold decal paper or transfer. No, that's not transfer, it's vinyl. I always think that this is decal or transfer tape. But now I'm just cutting the size of my beautiful canning, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach that vinyl to that piece of canning on the front. Then I'm gonna repeat the same steps on the back so I can cover both sides and it won't show the wood. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this thumbtacks that are used for decorating and making furniture, but you can use any thumbtack you have. I'm adding a little bit of hot glue on the canning so I can just place that thumbtack. And after I add both of them, as you can see, I had a little bit of an issue with the other one. We have a beautiful luggage, and look at that. It's so beautiful, but I want to know what you think in the comments below, and also let me know what's the name for this, if I am saying it correct.
Last DIY gingerbread.
And I'm gonna start painting them. I'm gonna cover them completely with this beautiful cinnamon paint so they look like they are made out of gingerbread. Let me just cover them like this. And just like that, we have one of them. There you saw the two of them, but we're gonna use one for this DIY. And I'm gonna take my puffy paint and I'm gonna just go around my Christmas tree. These ones are from Dollar Tree, but you can find it, I think, at any dollar store. So now I'm just adding some dots, and as you can see, I'm making those lines a little bit thicker. Let me just do some dots here and there. And as you can see, I added 2 dots on that tier. And now I'm just gonna go to the middle tier of the tree, and I'm just gonna do the same, just making the lines. Then I'm gonna make them a little bit thicker, and I'm gonna add my puffy paint to fill that like this. Then I'm gonna add my dots. Here you can see I'm just filling that. Now I'm adding my dots like this, 2 dots on some of them, and on the corners I added just 1. I did the same to the top tier, and now I'm just covering that star completely. And look at this. It is so cute. Let me just fill that up. You cannot even see the hole that it had. And that's it. A beautiful Christmas tree. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of stir stick, paint it completely, and as you can see, I'm painting both for this one and the other one. And here you can see it, and this one is so cute. It looks like a cookie. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
And that's it for today. This is everything I have for you. Remember, let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. Take care, my beautiful friends, and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.